Good morning, y'all. Happy Sunday. Most of all, happy Father's Day. I know that I do have a few men who are subscribed to my channel. And if you are a father that is actually present in your child or children's lives, I commend you. Today is your special day, extra special day. Because I know for me, as far as my father is concerned, who is, somebody who is very much so living, he is celebrated all throughout the year. This is just a day that's carved out for him on a calendar. But like I said, we celebrate him all year round. So this video is just going to be dedicated to all of the fathers who are present and the ones who used to be present, but they have, transitioned. So I do have several friends. Most of my friends don't have fathers, meaning their fathers have never been in their lives. They are basically trash. You know what I'm saying? Didn't pay child support, weren't there, would get mad when they were asked to do something simple to help the mother out. It's just like, y'all. And one of my friends, her mother had breast cancer and passed away. And before she passed away, she asked him to do what he needed to do. I mean, they had their own private conversations, but he actually went to his daughter after the funeral. I mean, this was a hard time anyway. She literally graduated high school. It's like her mama held on long enough just so she could see her child, her only child, graduate from high school. Then she passed away. Her father, after the funeral and all that stuff, was like, oh, I know our relationship hasn't been the greatest, but I'm gonna be there for you. And he did everything but. So it's just crazy. I never understood that. I never understood why there were so many people out there who had absent fathers. They would be out here. I've seen more men, or so-called men, let me just put it like that, who have kids that they themselves helped to create, but they'll go and get with somebody else and take care of those people's kids. And it's like, you don't see your kids, you don't talk to your kids, you don't do nothing with your kids, but you out here setting it off for somebody else's kids. What? That's what we do. That's what we do. I don't understand. I'm very confused. I don't get it. Why is we doing that? I don't get it. Like, stuff like that has always been a conundrum for me. Cause my daddy has always been there. My daddy was the breadwinner. He was the only one who was working in the house. As I have mentioned to y'all before, he had an agreement with my mama, which was, hey, we together. I love you. I want to be with you. I'm married to you. This is what I want the setup to be. Are you on board with this? They agreed that this is what it was going to be, which was, you going to have babies by me. I'm going to take care of these babies financially. I'm going to be there. I'm going to work. I'm going to spend time with them whenever I'm not at work and I'm not doing my little side jobs and all that stuff. Doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm going to be a father. She said, oh, okay, cool. He was like, all you got to do is take care of the kids so that, nobody else is raising our kids, and I'll bring the check home to you. So you balance the checkbook, make sure all the bills are paid, and, you ain't got to work. You ain't got to work unless you want to. My daddy literally was like, you don't have to work unless you want to. And my mom was like, I'm cool with that, If I ever decide to change my mind, all right. So that's the way it was. I don't understand, y'all. So to go on ahead and, start this off, appreciation, at this moment for my father. I am the one who made my daddy a daddy. I'm his firstborn child. I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest of three. 2 years separates me and my sister, and 5 years separates myself from my brother. So yeah, he's the youngest. Funny thing, I mean, not really, it's more of a common thing, or at least it was back in the day. When my mama got pregnant with me, she was like, okay. My daddy was like, okay, I want a boy and a girl. Cool. When I came out, they saw I was a girl. So they were like, all right. So when the time comes, we'll see what happens. My mama got pregnant again, and she had my sister. So my mama was like, look, I'm going to get pregnant one more time. And if this next baby's not a boy, we ain't trying no more, because I'm shutting it down. I'm closing up shop. Y'all, my daddy is lucky that my mama ended up pregnant with my brother. And that was the hardest pregnancy she ever had. She said that my brother had her hurting the whole time. She was like in the bed most of the time. And I remember that, even though I'm only 5 years older than him, I remembered her being pregnant with him. Whatever he was doing to her as far as the pregnancy was concerned, he messed her teeth up. Like, they had to pull her teeth, and she was in the bed all the time, like in excruciating pain all the time with him. And when the time came for him to come into the world, we're rushed to the hospital. My daddy is at the little emergency part. I remember that part like it was yesterday somehow. I don't know why. But anyway, they get her to the door. My mama is literally like giving birth to him. He can't even wait. My daddy went, parked the car, and he was here. Like, he was here. Like, come on now. Come on now. It's too much, y'all. It's too much. But yeah, he couldn't wait to get here after he heard her all the time, all like the complete pregnancy. Like, I think she said I was her easiest pregnancy, even though she did have to get like a C-section. It's weird because we were small. She ended up having to get C-sections. We were all like 6 pounds, 6 pounds, 3 ounces, 6 pounds, I think 1 ounce is 6 pounds. My brother was the biggest, like 6 pounds, 7 ounces or something like that. But yeah, she had to get C-sections. At the time, she used to be really, really small. And as I've mentioned in another video before, y'all, my mother is on the heavy side now, but she has been losing weight. She's been losing a tremendous amount of weight without any weight loss surgery or any of that stuff. At one point in time, she thought she would have to do that, but she didn't. But yeah, I'm guessing that the reason why at the time she was a twig. My mama used to be a twig. You look at their pictures of when they got together and when, you know, my daddy built the house, and she had pictures where she was standing and sitting by the fireplace. She was a twig. So it's like, whoa, okay, why you gotta get a C-section? But I'm thinking it was because she was so small. Like, she didn't have hips. She didn't have none of that. So I feel like they had no choice but to cut us out. So yeah. Anyway, back to my daddy. I'm a daddy's girl. Always have been, always will be. Like, I go off with my daddy, y'all. I hear about random stuff that is happening back home, and if there is no, like, definite information, and they just say there was a mail that something happened, and I'm like, okay, what side of town is on? Because even though my father is retired, he still does stuff with one of the other family businesses that's still affiliated with what he did for the state of Alabama, which was being a mechanic. Y'all, he does all kinds, like, my dad's a jack of all trades. But yeah, I've heard so many different things, and I'm like, look, I call the house, I call him like crazy. If he don't answer if he don't answer my phone call, I'm like, okay, all right now, what's going on? I ain't got time. I remember one time somebody went on a random shooting spree. Now, I'm from Montgomery, Alabama. If you are from there, or if you are from the surrounding area, you know they had been acting like Little Detroit for no reason, and Chicago and all that for no reason, and I don't understand. So they randomly were going on a shooting spree, and one of the places that they shot was near at this gas station that was near where our relatives' shop is. So I know my daddy might have been there. So I was like, it's around the time my dad is still in that area, so I needed to know where he was. That particular day, he had actually left the shop and he went to a whole other side of the town, but I had no idea. I was just like, don't make me have to set it off and make a 700 and something or 600 or something mile drive, flight, whatever, to come down there and set it off. Because no, what you're not finna do is that. I don't have time. You know what I'm saying? Since I left home, the worst thing that has happened to my father is somebody walked up to him and they asked for his help with something. And he turned his back for a minute and somebody else came from out of nowhere and like stole his tools. And it's like, we stealing tools still? Like, that's what we do. We stealing tools. Okay, go somewhere and sit down. Go somewhere and sit down. Y'all, I was just like, this is just so ignorant for no reason. Stealing people's tools. So my dad had to go buy some more tools. I was like, really? I'm just glad he had the money to do so, because that's just so stupid. Y'all, but anyway. But that's the worst that has happened. We had somebody to come to our house when we were young. My dad had a whole big toolbox, with several drawers, all of them filled to the capacity. And we came home one day, and we live in the country, mind you. So at that time, we didn't really believe in, we have to lock the doors and all that stuff. But we had come home, and my daddy, I kind of get the way I recognize stuff from him. We're going down the driveway. Mind you, our driveway is like a half a mile or a quarter of a mile long. So it's a pretty decent distance. And my daddy notices, I don't know if he notices tracks or whatever, but we started getting close to the house. He was like, wait a minute, something don't seem right. So he kind of stops the car before we get to the carport and was like, I gotta go check something out real quick. And we trying to figure out why. We in the car with groceries and all this other stuff. Why can't we leave? He was like, stay right here. I think something ain't right. So come to find out, my daddy was right. And somebody had came into the house, was searching for stuff. Ain't no valuables in our house. We ain't got no valuables, but they had actually stolen my daddy's tools. So people be doing the most. I don't know if it was anybody who used to come by and ask if they could fish in our pond or whatever, because my father, his father, one of my other uncles who actually married into the family, and maybe one of my other uncles who's now deceased, I think they are the ones who dug and created our pond, put the fish in and all the other stuff. And yeah, it is created. It's directly in front of our house. So people tend to want to come and fish there. And if we say, yeah, we don't charge anybody, it's just common courtesy. If you're going to be on our land, we need to know that somebody's there. Don't be just rolling up and just doing stuff, because that's how you get shot. I'm just saying. But anyway, y'all, my daddy was a protector. He did not play that. He used to see stuff that I didn't see. And I'd just be like, what is wrong with him? Y'all, I could do something that I think I'm doing behind his back. My daddy see it. He ain't cut his eye. Now he be like, yep. I'd be like, how did he even see that? That's what I'm saying to myself. He used to see stuff that I didn't know he could see. And I'm just like, what in the world? Y'all, oh Lord, y'all, I can barely remember, because it didn't happen that often coming from my daddy, but the few times I did get whooped, I ain't gonna lie, I feel like he kind of spared me, because he used to whoop my brother. My brother stayed in trouble though, y'all. I don't understand. He used to give my daddy so much grief. Lord, I was just I just got to a point where it was he just loved to challenge my daddy. And I'm like, Lord have mercy, why? Don't do it, girl. Y'all, I used to be so tired of seeing my brother getting whooped. But yeah, y'all, I remember one year I was going on a trip with this organization that I mentioned before, that's government funded. I was gonna go and travel it was the way we were gonna go. It was gonna be following the Underground Railroad. So we were gonna go up through Michigan, and then eventually we were gonna go to Canada and come back down to a hotel in Michigan. We were gonna it was just a lot. It was a lot. It was so amazing. But my daddy randomly had to have surgery right before I left. Y'all, I was determined not to go to the hospital. Like, I don't play that. I don't like a hospital. I don't like a funeral. I just don't. I'm not here for it. So my mom had to make me go to the hospital to visit with him. Y'all, I'm so glad I did. And I was scared because I don't like seeing people like that. Y'all, it just does something to me. Especially if I really care for the person. Like, I can't. So I went in the hospital room. Y'all, they had my daddy doped up. Like, I ain't never seen my daddy drunk, high, nothing. Like, when my daddy found out that my mama was pregnant with me, he used to smoke. He quit cold turkey. He just set it off like, nope, I'm done with everything. Bye. I ain't doing nothing else. And like I told my friend like a couple of months ago when she told me that her husband has acquired a motorcycle, because I saw a picture, I said, whose bike is that? She was like, oh, that's his. I was like, what? Oh yeah, he just got that. I was like, girl, lies. When my mama was pregnant with me, she had already told him, yeah, you're gonna have to get rid of that. Now, I don't know how, and it's so weird, y'all. My mama, she used to be able to do the same thing. Y'all, I was literally a baby. Like, small. Diapers still being worn small. Like, less than 2 years old, small. I remember, like it was yesterday, when my daddy put me in, like, this little basket thing that was on the back. It was like the back of his motorcycle and tied me with a rope to it to make sure I wouldn't fall off. But this is what he was doing. Since a lot of my relatives live in close proximity to one another, it's like my house, then my aunt's house, then another one of his sister's houses, and another one of his sister's houses, and all of them, have husbands. And then my grandmama's house. Since his mama's house is up the street, literally we go down our driveway and then he gets on the highway for less than 10 seconds and then turns down his mother's driveway, mother and sisters, all that, their driveway that leads to all their houses. Y'all, I remember that like it was yesterday. What he did was one of his brothers happened to be visiting and he met him at the driveway and they were talking. I don't know how I remember that. My mom was like, how you remember that? You were a baby. I said, Ma, I don't know. I be remembering random stuff. And it wasn't something that somebody told me. And I really didn't remember it and I was a baby. I don't get it. It's so weird to me. But y'all asked me what I ate yesterday. I have to sit there and hum and ha. I don't remember what it was. I don't remember what I watched yesterday. I don't remember nothing that happened yesterday. Did it rain yesterday? I don't remember, not really. But yeah, when it comes to stuff like that, I'll be remembering like it just happened. That's so weird. But yeah, that was his last time with his bike. And he was going to have to sell it because my mom was like, I'm not having these babies and you ain't going to be around to help me raise them. That's what we're not finna do. So my mama told him, you're going to have to get rid of this bike. Because at the time, my father has a lead foot, had because that's what it is now. He had a lead foot. Every time we got in a vehicle, y'all, I feared for my life. And he never knew this until I was an adult and moved away from home. I told my mama about it. She didn't even know. She was like, are you serious? I was like, yes. There was this one part. There was this one part that was like 5 minutes away from my house. And it's like, you kind of go up a hill, then you go down the hill, and you kind of go through 3 to 4 bridges. So it's a straight shot. And it's like, once he got over that hill, he would just hit it. Y'all, sometimes before he would go over that hill, it's a big turn that you go in. It's a big curve. Y'all, my dad would be going 80-something miles around that curve. Y'all, I used to think, we gonna be in this pasture dead one day, fooling with him. I used to always cringe when I knew we were about to get close to that. I'd be like, oh my God. I really would start praying every single time that he was driving a vehicle. And we were getting close to that part, y'all. Oh my gosh, they used to tear my nerves down. I could not. And my mama was like, are you serious? I was like, yes. Yes, I used to have to pray every time I got in the car with daddy because he used to do the most. But now, y'all, my daddy drives slow as I don't know what is going on. My daddy is 67. He turned 67 on the 2nd. So I don't understand. Because I remember I went home in 2000 and The last time was 2015, and the time before that was 2012. He was driving slow then, cause he came and got me. I was like, okay. I mean, we were like on the road that leads to our house that's like 65 miles per hour before it started turning into 55 miles per hour, and he was going slow. And I mean, even when we weren't talking and he wasn't distracted by anything, he was going slow. I was like, okay. And so I thought I was going to have to pray when I got to that part. And then he driving slow. So I was like, oh. He was driving under the speed limit. I was like, what's going on around here? Okay, I'm confused. But yeah, y'all. Y'all, I have so many amazing memories of my daddy that I just sit back and I think about stuff sometimes. Y'all, sometimes we'll get on the phone and he will just, y'all don't understand how hilarious my father is. Like he doesn't even try, and he is so hilarious. He can be dead serious about stuff. It's just the way he says stuff. It will have you dying. People live for when my daddy come around, because he really just be, I feel like he honestly gets that from his mama, because my grandmama used to do the same thing. She'd be dead serious about something. It'll just be the way she say it. And sometimes she'll know she made, a funny, as one of my cousins who's older than me says. She does that because she's a teacher of very young children. But she'll do stuff, she'll say stuff knowing that it's hilarious. And I'm like, Granny, what in the world? But I feel as though he got that from her. But he really will, he really be having people dying laughing, y'all. Y'all, I wish that if this channel were to take off a little bit, when I do go home, I wish that I could put him on camera and record him, and y'all can see what I'm talking about. My daddy has me dying. Y'all understand. My daddy is hilarious. He really is. I look like my daddy. I wish I could I ain't got my thing with me, y'all. I don't know if I'll be able to add it in there, but that's what I look like. I look like my daddy, so that's another thing. Me and my sister look like my daddy. Let's see. But yeah. Y'all, I just wanted to do a little dedication video. My daddy is everything. And I can't get enough of it. Y'all don't understand how many people live for my daddy, because my daddy really is everything. So, like I said earlier, I hope that all of the fathers who are actually present in their children's lives are having a wonderful day today, are going to be celebrated as they should be all throughout the year, but especially today. I hope that everyone who has a father who is no longer with us, that you do find comfort, or if you have found that comfort, that you can think of them and think of the things that were near and dear to you, that the different memories that y'all shared before they passed away, because you will always have those memories for as long as you live. So a lot of us have to be compassionate when certain times like this come around. Like Mother's Day, I know, is a very, very tender spot for a lot of my friends, and Father's Day for just a handful of my friends. So anyway, I hope that y'all enjoyed this video, a little, insight to my father and the different things that I've experienced while living at home, just some of my memories of being around him. Anyway, y'all, I don't know. Y'all ain't had no sleep. I still have these issues going on, and I took like a nap like before 12 this morning, and that might have been, I know it was less than 2 hours, so it's like 6 now. It was like 5:35 or whatever in the morning. But yeah, the sun is coming up, y'all. I haven't had any sleep. Don't know if I will be able to get some sleep, because when I did lay down, nothing happened, and I was just sitting there looking crazy. So y'all see me looking crazy in the face. You see me looking crazy and drained. But anyway, y'all, happy Father's Day again, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day.